I believe the day is going to come when we're going to have everybody in our company on the same page, pulling in the same direction with the same objectives. And when that happens, we will absolutely explode. You can count on it. And the same thing will happen in your own company. Teamwork, so important. The Houston Rockets this year, the world's champions again of basketball. Knowledgeable basketball people, and that does not include me, say there were at least 4 other teams that had much better personnel than the Houston Rockets did. But they functioned as a team, and they had a team leader whom they greatly respected in Hakeem Olajuwon, and they won, again, the world's championship. On that day before vacation, the interesting thing is, when the day was over, although you had gotten 2 or 3 times as much done as you normally get done, you were highly energetic. I mean, at the end of that day, man alive, you were jumping up and down and bouncing around, and you couldn't wait to get home. And on the way home, again, you were talking to yourself, and the energy level was enormously high. You didn't have a tired bone in your body. You know when you're the most exhausted? When you've tried to fool the boss all day long. When you've had to make work, and act like you're busy. Those are the days that you really are exhausted. But you are so delighted, your competence and your creativity takes a giant step forward. You're on a roll, that momentum builds, and man alive, you're getting things done, and you feel so good about yourself. That self-image just blossoms. You can sign your name to it. One of the things that Jerry Arrowwood took pride when she was washing dishes and cleaning that cookware was the way she could leave that kitchen so spotless. The way she could make that cookware shine. The way she washed those dishes and left that lady's kitchen always in much better shape than it was when she got there. That's what I'm talking about right there. When you sign your name with pride to what you've done, you will be doing a better job. And on the way home, you were so excited. You were talking to yourself all the way. Can't wait to get to tell my husband what I've done or my wife what I've done. I want to share this with a kid. Boy, are we ever going to have us a great vacation. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now let me ask all of you a question. Have I said a word about working harder, or am I talking about working smarter? Answer smarter. I help you on these tough ones, okay? I noticed there a little doubt there and a lot of the faces there, and I hate to see a blank face. I really do. Okay, now let me ask you a question. If this worked so well in organizing your job, on your career, do you think there's a chance that if you planned your family time, if you planned your vacation time, if you planned your exercise time, if you planned your social time, that you would get more of each one of them done? What do you think? You know what I believe with all my heart, and I might be wrong? I believe I work more hours than 99% of the people who will ever listen to this. 5 o'clock this morning, I was working. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock yesterday morning, at 5 o'clock the day before, I was working. And here it is, 10 o'clock, and I'm still at it. And yet I'm here to tell you that I probably spent more time with my wife today than you did with your mate or your children. We spent an hour at breakfast. We spent nearly an hour at lunch. We spent 45 minutes at dinner. And we had a lot of conversations in between there, some of them short. But what I do, and I also got in my 46-minute walk this morning at high speed. You got to plan the things if they're going to happen. They're not accidentally going to come about. When you put it all together, you just get so many more things done. Now, let me ask you really what we're getting at, and I think this is so important. I'm talking about running your day by the clock and your life with a vision. Your day by the clock and a life with a vision. If you put it together in that way, then you can get so many more things done. Now, those of you in this live audience, let me ask you, how many again of you are employers? Can I see your hands? How many of you employers would fire an employee who came to work and performed every day like we're talking about right here? Anybody here fire one? Or would you say, hey, I want to make that man or that woman a lifetime deal. I want them to be with me forever. Matter of fact, I've got a little raise in mind for them. Who knows, maybe even a promotion. Are we talking about increasing and improving that employment security? Isn't that really what we are doing there? Now, but you might say, but Zig, suppose, now just suppose, the same thing happens to me that happened to my buddy. He worked this company 23 years. And then they merged last year. Or 3 years ago, the boss's son got out of college and came home, and that young whippersnapper took my job, and now I don't have a job. No fault of mine, but I lost it. What do I do now? Well, let me ask you a question. If you'd worked every day like you do the day before vacation, what kind of recommendation do you think you'd get? Would it be fabulous? What about your sales talk when you go to apply for the job and the boss there, the person doing the interviewing says, what experience have you had? If you can look at them and say, well, I've had 41 years experience at being absolutely honest. My tests all indicate that I'm a very intelligent human being. My goals are clearly defined in what I do. I'm a well-organized person. I accept responsibility for performance. I make commitments and keep those commitments. The resume I gave you, my work record shows it clearly. And I am a very punctual person. I'm always there when I'm supposed to be. I get started when I get there. Think of the self-talk, or the sales talk that you can give to that person. And you get to the end of it and say, you know, I have a great self-image. I'm highly competent. And I believe these are the qualities that your company needs. I believe this is the experience you need. And the neat thing is I can start immediately. Unless it would be better to wait till Monday morning. What would you prefer, incidentally? Now, before you might say, but now, Zig, come on, man. Is that real? It's as real as today and tomorrow, folks, because the world is always looking for somebody with these qualities. I'll guarantee it. Let me ask you a question. If your company goes belly up, will you get another job because you worked for XYZ company or because you performed for XYZ company? Now, whose responsibility is it to perform? We're not victims, is what I'm saying. Yes, there are things that we can do to build that employment security. There is no question about that. Now, as we look at the list we've been talking about, how many of those qualities right there are positive qualities? Anybody? Okay, in other words, you think honesty, intelligence, gold, organized, responsibility, you think all of those are positive qualities. Am I right on that? How many of them are leadership qualities? How many of them do you have? That was pitiful. We're talking about you. We're talking about your performance on the day before vacation. Now, you on this recording listening in your car, I hope you didn't hesitate like that. We're talking about you. Now, let me tell you something kind of interesting. We deny our talents and abilities because to acknowledge or to confess them would commit us to use them. Oh, now, isn't that something? Let's look at a couple of other thoughts. You're the only one who can use your ability. It's an awesome responsibility. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, it's tragic in America that we waste our natural resources. But it's infinitely more tragic because so many people go to their grave with their music still in them. All of that talent, all of that ability. I think of the Vince Roberts and the Jerry Arrowwoods, and I think of all of these other people that something had to happen to bring it out and put it to work. You got to use that ability or it goes to the grave with you. You see, tragically, when you deny your talents and abilities, you deny yourself, your family, your company, and society the fruits of those abilities. I'm going to ask you in this live audience, for the benefit of the listening audience on the tapes, I'm going to ask you to do something right now. I'm going to ask you to stand up right where you are. And since you've confessed that these all are the qualities that you have, I'm going to ask you to stand up and claim them right now. So right there, stand up. And as you're listening to this tape, you go right along with us. Now, I'm going to start it. I'm going to call out my name. You call out your name. I'm going to say, I, Zig Ziglar, and then I'll go right down it. And here's the way it'll go. I, Zig Ziglar, am an honest, intelligent, goal-directed person, okay? I, Zig Ziglar, am an honest, intelligent, goal-directed person. I am, come with me, organized, responsible, and committed. I am punctual, a self-starter. I'm optimistic and enthusiastic. I'm highly motivated, decisive, and focused. I am disciplined, persistent, and have a tremendous positive mental attitude. I'm a team player, energetic, competent, and I have a magnificent self-image. Now, everybody, before you sit down and look around, do you see any bodies laying around? Everybody survived, did they not? Not once in all the years I've been doing this have we ever had a loss because of what we just did right there. Okay, now have a seat if you will, and let's look at something else. Taking just those qualities that we've discussed, I've added common sense here at the bottom because all of this really is just common sense. But taking these day before vacation qualities there, how many of you believe that if you used them every day, that you would be happier, healthier, more prosperous, more secure, have more friends, greater peace of mind, better family relationship, and more hope for the future? Can I see your hand? Then it makes sense. Just take what you got, use it, and then develop some more. Now, let me also say to you that motivation is the key. Motivation is the key. Now, there's a lot of confusion about what motivation is all about. The media frequently ask me, you know, tired of those folks, 3 hours at that seminar? Yeah, you're going to get them excited. Hey, most of them aren't excited when they get there. Are you going to get them more excited? I better, because if I don't, they won't be back. And that'll be a shame, because my next talk's just a whole lot better than this one.